One of my favorite John Henry Spann, that's his name, by the way, listeners. Favorite John Henry Spann stories is I came over to your house just to visit you, have a beer or something, and you had a goat by the hind legs and asked me to put a rubber band around its scrotum. And is that how it went down?
Yeah. And I'm upset because what I wanted to do, I just moved, and so I couldn't find them.
Yeah.
But
it was terrifying for me. I'd never done anything like that. You're like, make sure both of the testes are in. Make sure both of the testes are in.
Don't get the nipple. Don't get the nipple too. No, but I wanted to bring you. I have the goat balls.
You really still have that?
I have them. Yeah, they're.
I would be honored if you sent me your goat.
It's in a jar full of salt. I wanted to drill a hole through them.
Yeah.
And put a little necklace. Make a little necklace.
I will wear
and
it
gift
at least for an hour.
Promise.
At least
on the show. Will you do it on the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that. If you send it to me, I will.
Yeah, I will. I'll dig through my stuff to find the goat balls for you. Yeah. I got your back, man.
Tell us about hunting. I don't know. You and I are going hunting in Africa this July.
We are. Have you said anything about that on the show?
I've said nothing about it, partly because I'm not a hunter.
Yeah.
I'm just going because you told me to. Like,
no, you got to go. It's going to be great. So we're going to Namibia, right, just northwest of South Africa. And we're hunting Jim's buck, spring buck, warthog, impala, red hartebeest, wildebeest. That's what's sort of on the menu. And I mean, I've been hunting. I'm a late onset hunter, so I started hunting when I was in my early 20s. And I love it. I mean, we eat it all, right? We get all of our, I mean, there's all these rumors I can dispel about hunting that drives me crazy, right? About like, there's the way the seasons are established. You're never killing Bambi's mother, right? Mm-hmm. Bambi is old enough to take care of himself by the time you're allowed to go hunting, right? By the time the season starts. But yeah, we've been doing it I kill probably 40 a year, fill up our freezer. Good. And it's great for the kids, right?
Yeah, I got to say, I mean, this was so cool. I don't know if I told you this, Neil. My son went hunting for the first time with you. One. Right. Yeah, it was great. We went to your parents' cabin. You showed him how to shoot a crossbow. Crossbow? Compound bow?
Mm-hmm. Crossbow.
And we went inside and you went through 1,000 pictures of deer. Where do you shoot it? 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 And then you were telling us, like, don't get your hopes up. We may not get a deer. So we woke up about 6 a.m. We went and sat in your blinds and we prayed the rosary, like really, really quietly. And then some deer came out and Liam shot it. And it was amazing. I mean, I've never experienced anything like that. My favorite part of that was you crawling on all fours in the woods, licking the blood off leaves to make sure, that's blood.
Make sure it's blood and not,
That was great.
Yeah, good.
And then he found it. We butchered it and painted his face with blood.
I love this because when you bow hunt, a lot of times they make it a ways off. Right, they don't fall right in front of you, and that happens sometimes with guns too, depending on your shot. But it made it a long way, so you get the drama and suspense of, are we going to find this?
Looking for that thing, remember, down those ravines, and
then he had just run across the road and
died. Yeah,
and we pretended like we didn't find it, so we could. So
That's
the boys
right.
Could track it down.
That was fun. So much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
All right, so what do you think are some common objections to hunting, and what's your response to them? I mean, there's probably some silly objections, which you're welcome to go through, but then some more serious ones.
No, one of the better ones that I've heard is you're working against evolution, right? Because I trophy hunt, right? And that's a bad word. You say you trophy hunt and everybody's like, oh, that's terrible. Like, no, I totally trophy hunt, right? I'm going to eat everything I kill every single time, right? Always. We eat everything. We get the bones for the dogs at the end. I just got hearts in my freezer, deer liver in my freezer, and all that stuff. But there is there's this idea that, you're hunting these big mature deer, like you're killing the biggest and strongest and best, and yeah, I am. You're right, and it's mostly because their antlers look cool, right? It's also because they're a lot bigger and there's a lot more meat on them. But the objection is, and I think this makes a lot of sense, is no, I'm hunting the deer who have had years to get their genetics out there, right? They're breeding all these doe. There's a lot of them, right? Good on him. He's made it to 5 years old. He's big. He's beautiful. He's a 12 point that scores 150 inches. He's a great giant deer. And now I'm putting him down. That's the only one that I think holds ground. I think a lot of the other ones are from emotion, right?
And what do they sound like?
It's sad.
You shouldn't hurt animals.
Shouldn't go get your meat from the grocery store like normal people, right? Yeah. And we started doing it, like I said, later in life, mostly because I have I'm big into conservation. I donate a lot of money to conservation organizations. I think that's super important. But I want my animals I want to be a good steward of God's creation, right? So our animals, right, be it a deer in the woods that I'm hunting and I kill and drag out of the woods to move to my freezer, or the chickens that we run in the backyard, they live long, happy lives, really bad 5 seconds at the very end, and then it's done. And talking about kids, right? Talking about kids in our broken, awful world, it connects you with a nature that you're already connected to. Hiking is great. Camping is great. Kayak trips are great, right? And you're experiencing nature, but you're not really participating in it. And we do participate in nature, like all the time. We are currently in nature. This is nature. Just because there's lights, just because there's AC, just because we're talking through
whatever this
highly
thing
advanced
is.
technological whatever. What?
Just whatever this thing is.
Right.
At some point you don't understand it, right? It's
Right.
just some magic.
But we are nature. Nature is us, right? We are part
Okay.
of God's creation. And I think that's really good for kids to understand, right? You are eating because this thing died that you went out and killed, and now we're going to take it back to that. We don't do a processor. We do it all in the backyard. My son stands out there in the freezing cold with me, or butchering deer, and I'm handing him organs and all this stuff. And then it moves to, and my wife loves this, to our dining room table once I get it quartered out, right?
Yeah.
I cover it with plastic sheeting.
And we did this at my house, if you remember. We butchered that deer. There's blood everywhere.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is this
No,
beautiful
I
connected
remember
thing.
taking my son to your house because you were going to butcher some chickens. And I loved it because you sat there and you spoke about how they had a great life and we're not mean to animals. We don't want them to suffer.
Right.
I mean, that was a really beautiful teaching lesson.
I sing
think,
John
for them.
Denver to them right before I
you?
break their necks. Yeah, every chicken I've ever killed gets the chorus of Country Roads and gets its neck snapped on the high country road.
Nice.
And it's dead. Yeah. But I think that participating in that it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And we need that.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what you thought about the video.